My next claim is that black on black crime is a result of underinvestment and over-policing.
This person is absolutely correct, but many people are going to be mad at them because conservatives are often allergic to any sort of systemic or material or broadly compassionate analysis of why someone might have committed a crime. And in that context, it's very interesting to look at the 1960s and what Richard Nixon did towards the end of that decade. Because when we think about the 1960s, we tend to think about the civil rights movement, the first man on the moon, the Beatles. But the 1960s also included a pretty incredible decrease in incarceration in the United States. At the end of the 1960s, as compared to the start of the 1950s, there were over 16,000 fewer people incarcerated in the United States of America. And despite this, towards the end of the 1960s, Richard Nixon ran for president on a law and order platform, shifting focus from the social justice and compassion of the civil rights movement to crime and punishment and fear. And upon winning the presidency, the Nixon administration did two things that I think are absolutely evil in the context of each other. The first thing they did was, in a very unprecedented way, massively accelerate the construction of prisons. And you might think, well, why did they do that? There were over 16,000 fewer people incarcerated in the United States of America at the end of the 1960s as opposed to a couple decades before. Crime's going down. Why do you need this? Well, here comes the second thing they did. The second thing they did was they made cuts to programs designed to alleviate poverty, jobs programs that historians believe the Nixon administration predicted would result in an increase in black people being arrested for crimes. So the Nixon administration built a bunch of prisons that were not needed and then made changes to things like our social safety nets that they believed would result in more people, specifically more black people, being convicted of crimes and sent to prison. So the next time someone calls you some sort of liberal squishy snowflake for wanting to have a more nuanced, compassionate, complex analysis of why someone might commit a crime that goes beyond intrinsic differences and moral failings, ask them about famous, shrieking, blue-haired vegan Richard Nixon.